major. What can I say? God made me great. I've been sleeping on myself, now it's time to wake. He put a table in front of me, so it's time to pray. I'm in the woke mood, trying to make moves, get a breakthrough. Folks do what they don't do, you better stay true. Go cool, Super Saiyan blue, crush your goals, put that vision in the motion, staying focused is the clue.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's been a minute, but we are back with another episode of the Doing the Major podcast. And I finally got some estrogen in the room, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor and a privilege to have the amazing, the wonderful, the super talented, the visionary, the pioneering, the creative, that give you that game. Let's get up and get it. LunDun, aka Aoife. What's going on?
I'm good. Thank you. That was quite an intro there, so thank you very much.
I try to think about some other words that what nothing else was coming, but I think that did it. It is so good to have you on the podcast this time around. We've been trying to get here for quite some time.
Yes, we have, and we're finally here.
Right, and I think before we actually started, you were mentioning that I reached out to you sometime in March or something like that. It was before.
Yeah,
Moonsplash.
It was before Moonsplash. March,
and then some stuff came up that you couldn't attend, and then we actually met about a week ago. Mm-hmm. We shot a whole episode, but then that didn't work out the way we thought it would work out. You know, my camera maxed out, and we have the audio. So when the audio's out, guys, you can listen to the audio from that episode. But I got that situation corrected, and now we are here with another episode of the Doing the Major podcast. So you know what it is, LunDun. What would you like me to call you, LunDun or Aoife?
You can call me Aoife.
Aoife?
Yeah, it's cool.
Awesome. So Aoife, just like last time, you know, we're here on the Doing the Major podcast, and we're talking about how we could live with purpose, live with intention, and live to inspire, all while having conversations around music. And you've been an artist for quite some time, and we're going to talk about that. But let's go through some questions about, you know, your upbringing, how you got started, primarily beginning with your stage name, LunDun. Did I say it right?
Yeah, LunDun.
LunDun. Mm-hmm. Yeah, talk to us about that.
Oh, okay. Well, fast forward to I'm in university
Mm-hmm.
in England, in Hertfordshire University, and I'm studying music and entertainment industry management, which is a mouthful for saying this music business and learning the management side of artists, bands, and musicians.
Yeah.
And so I was in an environment where I wasn't learning musical things.
Mm-hmm.
I was learning industry things. And it was making my brain think differently about how I present myself.
Gotcha.
And how marketable I'm making myself and how easy that is.
Yeah.
So I went to New York and kind of had the opportunity to do a mini tour.
Mm-hmm.
And just because people knew I was from England, they were like, oh, you're from London? And I could see the whole London aspect really like kind of catch on.
Yeah.
And I was like, so it was like food for thought. So that was that. And then as well, being from London, but like having two parents that are not from even England. And seeing the melting pot of the cultures.
Yeah.
And
where your parents originated from?
so my dad is from Angola and my mom is from Ireland. And
they met in London?
yeah, and they met in London. Yeah. So that
That's
ties
dope.
into me and where my parents met, why they met. It's an understanding of like migrant culture and the positivity, what that has to do with like the success and the economic side of things, because I saw how the diverse culture really is the thing that made London cool.
Right.
And so my name was a mixture of paying homage to the place where my parents met, understanding why people at that time used to come to London and, you know, strive for a better life.
Right.
And then also the time that I'm in the modern mixing pool and the friends that I made and the things that I learned. It's like I'll always be a kind of stamp of what that did to me. So,
Right.
and the reverse of not really claiming, oh, I'm from England, that's why I'm calling myself LunDun, it's actually the complete opposite. It's the fact that so many people from around the world make that place so special.
Nice.
Is that I have that opportunity to say that when people ask me what my name is about.
Dope. That's dope. That's really cool. And I think it's spelled a unique way, isn't it?
Yeah, so there's no O's, just U. So
Yeah.
LUN and then capital DUN, LunDun.
Nice. LunDun.
Yeah.
LunDun. So like it's unique when persons search for you, do you show up like
Yeah, so I actually LunDun Official is the brand in that sense. And I've done like talks and stuff through that. And so LunDun Official becomes ambiguous if it's my brand or if it's me. So
Right.
it's like I like how that's accidentally happened as well. So LunDun Official, you'll find me on mostly everything.
That's cool. That's cool. I got some questions here, some chat GPT questions.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
We in the AI stage, so I'm just going to be open and honest. Some chat GPT questions that we could set the tone. So before the world knew your name, what was the moment you first realized music was your purpose? As we start talking about purpose, we on the Doing a Major podcast, talking about purpose, living with intention, living to inspire. So before the world knew your name, before you went to that one event, before you start putting out music, really, what was the moment when you first realized that music was your purpose? Like what got you started, pretty much?
What came to mind? I think I was like 5 years old. And my mom gave me some school book thing. It was interactive, but it had the piano, but it had no sharps. It just had C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C.
Right.
But it was 1 to 8 or 1 to 7. So I didn't know what it was. I just heard da 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 da, and I was like, "This is dope."
Yeah.
And I remember making my own little melodies without even realizing what a melody is. The repetition of it kind of clicked in already before I knew that, it's a loop. So I used to experiment so much on that my mom, she taught me do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And that was it. Like, it just made sense. And yeah, I feel like at an abnormally young age, I was writing poetry. Because that's like something I can remember.
Right.
But honestly, like that was the beginning. A lot of poetry and a lot of learning how to make melody without realizing I'm making songs and stuff. Yeah.
Right. So at 5 years old, you started dabbling with music.
Yeah, like little things like that.
Yeah.
And I really liked it. I just knew that like this is cool.
So when would you say like the light bulb went on? Was like, okay, I've been messing with this keyboard thingy. I've been around music for a couple of years now. Was it when you were 13, 14?
No, like you're making me think like Mr. Martin. In grade 5 and grade 6 is when you can start steel pen.
Right.
So in grade 5.
So you did all your schooling here?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
I did like kindergarten, preschool in England. And I came here and I skipped a grade and started in road school. And then went to Island Harbour. And then,
Yeah. So you were born in England.
Yeah, I was born in England.
Came down as a kid.
Yeah, and my younger brother was like 2 months when we came to live here.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
So when you started steel pan classes with Dumper Martin, shout out to Dumper Martin, by the way.
Yes, shout out to Mr.
Martin.
Yes,
legend himself.
Big
That's
legend.
when your gears start to turn.
Yeah.
And you realize like you really liked music.
Yes, like Harry Potter. I don't know if you've ever watched Harry Potter, but a lot of people have. So I'll make this analogy. When you go into the school, even I don't know the name, but whenever you go into the school, Hogwarts or whatever, you get put in a house based on the hat.
Right.
Magic hat goes on top of your head, and it says Gryffindor or Slytherin.
Yeah.
That's how he made it feel when you're getting your pen. So it's like all the grade 5
Initiated.
kids. Yes,
Yeah.
all the grade 6 was like, yeah, we already on our pens, you know. And so now we first day of steel pen class, and he's just looking at us like. He literally just looked at us and was like, "You there."
Yeah.
Looked at you there. You there. It literally just said like you didn't know where you're going, just
Right.
stand in front. And I remember he was like, "You, that one," and I thought it was just one. And he's like, "No, you stand in the middle. It's a double." I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
I felt so small.
I played steel pen a little bit back in the day. The church that I attended, they had like a steel pen
Which
group.
one did you play?
I think it's the guitar pen.
Okay,
is
nice.
That's like the.
Like the rhythm section where you're kind of like.
It's not the big. It's not the skinny one.
No,
it's
it's
like the
kinda like
middle
a-
size.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I had the double. Yeah, so I held that down for a little
Nice.
bit as a teen. So okay, nice. So started with
Yeah.
Dumper. You know, growing up, who or what inspired you to believe you could do a major in a male-dominated industry like hip hop? Now we get into the nitty gritty because I mean, you were talking about your love for hip hop. And how you got started in it, and at the time, not many female rappers were out. Probably just one, and
One popular one. Yeah.
right? So you came on, you started rapping and stuff like that. Tell us about that one story too, where you did the freestyle session with all the other males.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean,
so
ironically, that was more intimidating based on it being the first time as well. But maybe that's the answer, that I never felt that intimidation when I was in an experimental period where you're learning about yourself.
right.
I feel like that kind of male dominant thing came more when I tried to produce.
As in produce music.
Yeah. That one. Sorry, that one.
So you've been okay.
It still
so
is like that one's interesting.
Yeah. So you've been in studios in London. Where else? Like here in Anguilla? Anywhere else really? Maybe in the U.S. I don't know.
I've been to a studio. Where else? Other than England, like because England's like a wide range. Not practicing producing in any other place. Let me think. No, don't think so. No. Yeah.
Okay, so I could see the scenario or the scene where it's like, okay, yeah, you have Studio A, Studio B, whatever the case may be. Bunch of guys in there producing. Here comes Aoife, and all the looks, the energy in the room,
Oh
just
my
all the
gosh.
testosterone.
Do you know what it is? If
Yeah.
I can just be like, I guess this is a place to be honest. It's no disrespect to males in general. So like disclaimer, right? Because if I'm in a male dominant job place,
Right.
that means I'm comfortable as well and see these people as my equals. But what happens is we accidentally get caught up in stereotypes.
Yeah.
So first accidental stereotype is women are singers.
Right.
We go wrong there
Right.
from the very get-go.
Yeah.
Women can be musicians. But even then, you're becoming edgy if you're trying to like master an instrument. I think that's wrong. But then we move further. Women in music tech, where you're using software and a program, and it's looking cool, like how Dr. Dre and like you have a lot of subliminal mental
Right.
male at these big mixer desk type of things. But I don't think a lot of shine was given to females that were in that space at the same time, because female producers been around,
Right.
but they've been fighting in that same space.
Fighting against some space.
So I think it's that, she can produce part, because then it becomes like she can sing. Okay, that's cool. She
Right.
can rap and sing. Oh, she's a dope artist.
Yeah.
Okay, she can rap and sing and produce. You're like,
Yeah. Put some respect on my name.
but no, then it's like if you're producing something, I'm capable of being like, you know what, try and like duplicate it, but put one like on 2 octaves higher, and then like put some reverb on it, and then let's see what that does. Oh, maybe pan 1 on the left, pan 1 on the right. And then, like, you know, they're like,
yeah, you have the lingo.
So then, I'm not telling you what to do. It's like, you just told me sing like this, and I worked with you. But then it's like, when I say put a little, it's like not all producers actually take that well. But then it's like, there's a difference of you producing and we're co-producing.
Right.
You have to understand we're co-producing here. And yeah, that's still difficult if you don't have a already existing relationship. Some people just are not open to the idea that there's female producers that, you know, just capable. I know how to use software just like you type of thing. Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's a bit unfortunate.
But honestly, like, there's just something about female artists or just females in general when they enter that space. Like, they just bring a different vibe, even to music and like hip hop. You know, all the female rappers back in the day, Missy Elliott, you know, she brought her own Queen Latifah. And then you have Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, okay,
and
so,
Nicki,
yeah.
And then, what's her name now? The one from Cardi B. Yeah. So it's like all of them, they just brought their own energy, their own vibe to it. And they just, I would say, in my opinion, they kind of took hip hop to another level or brought a difference.
They definitely brought a difference, but I'll say it out loud because I'm not like criticizing people harshly, but the sex appeal thing kind of gone out of hand.
Right.
And I feel like there's like a different battle going on. And when we're talking about the music, we should remember the music because, you know, there's a lot of other like female rappers around right now that if people wore a different lens, they'd start to say, hey, Lil Sims is actually like one of the baddest out here. And like, I think her name is Dej Loaf. Like she's hard. But you see these girls ain't worrying too much about super sex appeal. Like, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just feel like we have to change our tastes to change the culture.
Right.
And that's another thing that female musicians, artists, producers fight against as well. Because if you're like a tomboy or you're a bit edgy or you're a bit naughty, a bit academic type, you know, so your conversations are different. It's like you have to change the way you are to become super popular fast.
Right.
Like, because, you know, like things are also about patience. So the longer people get to know you, real relationships are built anyway.
Right.
But when you want to accelerate yourself, you have to be a people pleaser. And then what people expect, sometimes you're like, man, I guess I'm not making it anytime soon because I'm not doing these things, you know?
So what would you tell like other female artists? Because one of the things I was about to say as well is that not only like female artists bring like a different sound to the industry and to that genre, but even producers. Like, I've seen female producers, you know, just with the different pages I follow on Instagram, and just with where I've been and the journey of my life, you know, just traveling to the US and even into like Europe and Africa and stuff like that. I've had certain experiences, and the level of creativity that, you know, female producers bring female artists is next level, you know. So as someone that is in that space and had to navigate through certain paradigms and certain stereotypes and just opinions, what would you tell like aspiring female artists or even artists that are in the game presently, but more so aspiring female artists that want to do it major as a producer or even as an artist? Okay,
so plainly speaking, because you're making me like I have to answer the question. So it's okay if you don't want to do it all, and it's okay if you don't have that capacity to do it all at one time. Something that I didn't say last time we spoke and something I didn't even think about now, but I wanted to produce before most things, but I didn't have the opportunity to. You know, Miss Jacobs, she's music theory. She's like, she's the guru. Like, she is, you know, top class.
Right.
But I didn't have a chance to learn music software, like, and I was looking at Dr. Dre, and I'm like, I'm trying to do that.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
you know, I'm seeing Timbaland,
like,
like looking like how we look now, and I'm like,
Right.
I'm trying to be like that.
Right.
I'm looking at Gaff doing stuff, and I'm like, I'm trying to be like that. And I was screaming that literally up until 18 years old.
Wow.
It pushed me all the way. Like, I didn't care what anybody said. It's like, how can I want to do something at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16? So that's a long time to be like,
Right.
I have to get
It's
to
like
university.
like a rooted passion, you know.
No, but it's like because I acknowledge it's the resources. Our school didn't have it.
Right.
Our colleges didn't have it. Then the colleges in England didn't have it. I have to get to tertiary education to have access to a studio of this level.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
I have to get to tertiary level to get in a room with state-of-the-art music equipment to experiment as a hobby.
Yeah.
Like, I had to pay $9,000 a year to have a fun hobby.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, so like that really did push me all the way. So then I could care less about what any man, any woman, any goat, any sheep had to really say at that point, because I've been wanting to do something since 12 years old. So that really was the biggest push. And so you have to allow yourself to listen to your instincts.
Right.
If you know you feel like that, respectfully, you shouldn't listen to anybody unless you have some direct calling from God that curveballs you.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, then no one should tell you you should need to be a lawyer, a doctor, you know, like just whatever is going on. Let it, you know, work towards it. Get good grades in all things, because you don't know how you're going to get there, right? But you got to work towards it.
Yeah.
And like I said, when I went to university, it wasn't for a music course to learn how to do music. I still did business, music business.
Yeah.
But for my hobby for 3 years was networking and learning how to do things. And so if I didn't have the drive, I could have potentially had a degree and still not know how to do any of these things.
Yeah.
And so you have to have discipline.
Right.
So if you listen to your intuition and you have the discipline to be consistent
Right.
with the growth, no matter what, and I'll look into the camera, no matter what.
Keep grinding.
Yeah, because, you know, you can have some serious life setbacks, right? And then, you know, you might feel like, okay, that time has passed. No, like, I feel like this world, and I don't know if you agree, but ageism is real. You know, we have a lot of other things that distract us.
Right.
But I feel like we're made to feel like we're getting older, much younger. And that's not right.
Yeah, and I think given the present culture, you know, and the high level of fitness, mental health, and wellness culture that we're in, you know, all of that is good, but it could almost seem like everyone is like in a frenzy to like work out and, you know, get their body, summer body, this and that, you know, and it kind of creates like an urgency, or like, I got to do this before this happens, you know, rather than just, okay, work out, but work out because you have a genuine interest.
Health, or,
to just take care of your person, not because you're trying to compete with how
I'm trying to look better than she, because she had looked good last year. Like, it's crazy.
You know,
work.
we got a lot of this high value talk. This high value talk now, where it's like you got a high value woman, high value man, and all that stuff, and everyone is trying to look apart and be apart, sound apart.
No.
But rather than just enjoying life, you know. So I feel like that kind of feeds into the ageism culture that you mentioned. You know, so but because
I agree. Because there was a time I was 19 and I felt like, I ain't made it yet. Man.
Yeah.
If I don't make it in 2 years,
right,
I'm done.
And then the thing is too, is like when we because we see other people out there in the world grinding and getting stuff, we feel like we're behind.
Yeah,
An illustration that I came up with a couple years ago when I was, you know, talking to some inner city teens and stuff, some particularly young ladies that were struggling with insecurity. I said, the only reason why you're struggling with how you look that much is because you know how other people look in other places in the world. So, for example,
right.
you would have
Okay.
never
Yes.
known how Susie looked unless you go to Susie's house
Right,
and look at her
right.
photos and her album and all that stuff. But because we got Instagram and TikTok, we see how other
Yeah.
people look. We see how
Yeah.
other people are making money. So it feels like here in Anguilla or wherever you are, because we see other people advancing in life so much, the cars, the watches, the jewelry. We put pressure on ourselves to feel like we have yet to attain, we have yet to get there, you know.
Yeah, it's true. It's
and
true.
all that stuff is just
Yeah.
distractions.
Yeah, and you know, like I just thought about what you're saying when people said the cars and the watches and the this, but you know, I don't know if have you ever heard of Klarna, Klarna.com?
Klarna? No, never.
Klarna.
No.
Okay, so like I don't know if this is in the States,
You
but
may have to put the mic closer for this one.
oh my gosh, it's so bad, right? So basically, Klarna is like this thing in the UK that helps you pay off certain things in installments, right? So, you know, if you're thinking like a single mother paying off a laptop for her child in 3 installments, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
But when you hear someone's bought red bottom shoes and are paying it off in installments, and a Gucci puffer jacket and paying it off in installments, you know, a camera lens and they're paying it off in installments, but it's like everything in the person's room is now being paid off in installments.
Wow.
And then it's like they're going to take pictures and make it look like they're living the best life.
Yeah.
But they're in debt.
Right.
And so when I started to realize that a lot of people are in
Klarna.
some Klarna, PayPal, whatever kind of debt,
Yeah.
I'm like, hold up. So, you know,
Wow.
I don't know. So,
I mean, you got people out there renting Lamborghinis and
but then this is another thing. Then when you see someone paying $500 or pounds for, let's say, a Mercedes Benz, but it's not a loan to the bank, it's a loan to the car dealership and it's on finance. So it's like a postpaid phone. So you get to return the car and hand in and get a next one.
right.
I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So I asked my friend that was doing this, I was like, so when do you own the car?
Right.
They're like, oh, no, I
They don't
upgrade.
own it.
I'm
Right.
like, hold on.
Yeah.
So I said, if your circumstances change, you don't own a car?
You stuck in a rut.
This is like a phone bill that you're paying for the phone and the data? I didn't understand. So then you can laugh at somebody that has a car, but it's paid in full, or the loan is paying off the car.
Yeah.
Not I'm on a subscription for my Spotify and I'm on a subscription for my handbag and a subscription for my car and it's like Black Mirror stuff.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that also helps me, and it should help other people to just be okay and actually challenge their brain chemistry and have less and see what that does to you.
Right.
When you know how much you have, let's say in a bank, but you look maybe like you have less, and you'll see people maybe judge you. You'll learn that this is what happens, you know. And I feel like what's humbling is if you can do more but don't, you see how people sometimes treat you differently.
Right.
And I think the older now we're getting, you know, I'm not a teenager and I'm starting to realize that. I was like, wow, that's something valuable too. Humility is actually a really good lesson.
Of course.
You know, because you just look okay.
Right.
Nobody has to know.
Yeah.
You know, you could have less than what you have and people
Right.
think you're up, or you could have more than what you have and people think you're down, you know, but it's about just not really showing off. And I feel that unfortunately a lot of people are in debt because they show off a lot. Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. What is it? Klarna?
Klarna. And I watched this thing explode and it went from just 1 or 2 people to
It's like a UK thing. A lot of people in the UK do that.
A lot of UK. I think it's European,
Yeah.
but it's like, you know, you can buy so much.
Wow. They gonna come and get you.
And then I
Putting them on
don't see. I
blast.
have never once used it, and I never will.
Yeah.
And you know, like I feel like they know what they're doing in the sense that they've
'Cause it's
created a
convenient.
culture.
Yeah, and it's convenient,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because I mean, hey, if I could buy a pair of Jordans, J's, and not have to pay the $350 or, you know, whatever the price may
Yeah.
be, and do $20 a month, you know,
Or like
then,
$20 every 2 weeks
yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah,
And then that gets so good that before you finish paying off that, you're just gonna do it again. And I think that people are getting caught.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you have debt collectors in the UK and they're gonna come and
yeah, they gonna come knocking.
knock on your door.
So, Ifo, I mean, let's move on here. So, if you had to describe your sound and your mission in one sentence, what would it be?
My sound and my
And
mission.
in your mission as an artist,
These ones are hard today.
What? What would it be? It's like, I mean, like, okay, in essence, like, who is LunDun? Because I mean, LunDun is the stage name.
I'm conscious. So
Okay.
conscious, rebellious.
Yeah.
You mix them together and you have, you got me.
So let's unpack that for a little bit. Now you say conscious and rebellious. So you what are you rebelling against? Like the culture, everything that media is throwing at our young people. You know.
I think I'm just a little bit rebellious of some systems that we have been told that work,
Yeah.
but they don't really. And we don't have shackles on our hands to not change them.
Right.
So I'm not even talking about like super deep ones, you know. I'm talking about understanding that there is brain chemistry.
Yeah.
And we can change our minds on how we behave and react to things that people are throwing towards us.
Right.
And it could be food, processed foods. But why are you thinking about the government first? You ban it.
Yeah.
You just stop buying it. You just stop eating it.
Right.
And you're like, so I feel like there's that rebellious thing of like, when you realize what you're doing, how can you continue? And I feel like actually now that I'm getting older, I'm realizing what adulthood is about. I'm starting to realize that people are a little crazy because people know something is bad. They know it's destructing them. They know it's not good, right?
Yeah.
But for some reason, the thought of the battle that it is to change it is so strong. You know what? I just gonna go back to it because that fear of like, I'm gonna have to uproot, you know, and I feel like that's where I'm rebellious, where I'm like, challenge accepted. You know, I have a flaw, a bad trait, a bad habit. Why should I feel shame or guilt because I have it? Like, it's about, okay, this is how people go down a rabbit hole. They don't fix this thing. You know, so I feel you have to have a level of consciousness to get to that.
Yeah, and I think also, I mean, people attach themselves to certain things that make them who they are. Like for that thing gives them their identity. Yeah, so
and
it's like,
for example, rapping was kind of that after a while.
right.
Then when I started singing, I'm like, oh, am I a singer? And then like, oh, am I a producer? And then I had to realize, and like God, one day he threw a word at me. He was like, musicology. I was like, I Googled it. Is that a word? So I was like, musicology. I was like, okay, so musicologist? Is that what? I was like, a musicologist. I'm like, ooh. And then I went down another rabbit hole, an ethnomusicologist.
Ethno?
Ethno.
Like
ethnic.
Oh, yeah.
And then it got me upset. I was like, so why is there a differentiation between musicology and ethnomusicology? And I was like, pause. And so the creators of the word and the study of musicology is applying it to the westernized music and the westernized scale system.
Right.
And so anything that's not that is considered ethnic. And so it's ethnomusicology for the rest of the world.
Right.
So where Africa, South America, and China is all banded in the same study.
Right.
But the westernized style of, you know, music theory and stuff like that, that's a study in itself. And so that's when I realized, there is even layers to this music thing.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm interested in. So, you know, everybody could be watching what Cardi B is wearing, or who's married who, or who's going counseling, or who's getting what jail time. You know, that's the media side of the music.
Right. And that's all of that stuff is intentional.
And I really could care less about it. So then I find myself disconnected and not having much to talk to with a certain bandwidth of musicians that they're not really musicians. They're culture hunters. They want to live in, like, whoa, we get the girls. Like,
Right.
I've been around that so much now that's really boring, you know? So it's like I've gone to the next level where you can go with music and it's understanding the history, the frequency, the scientific side, you know, like an understanding that even studying music made me realize that if you didn't think there was a God, or if you didn't think there was a bigger thing.
Come on, let's talk about it.
Whoa. Like,
let's talk about it.
Music frequency.
Yeah.
The science of music. Whoa. The tones, the flats, the harmony versus the chords.
Okay, so
see all of this stuff?
yeah. So
like,
I'm gonna jump in that pool right there because, you know, so I've been on this meditative journey and I've been trying to understand and unpack the whole idea and concept of frequencies, you know. So this world is made up of frequencies.
Yes.
And I am very much interested and I am convinced that God responds to frequencies.
Okay.
You know, so when you talk about the frequency of music, you know, you already got me.
This
there.
is a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, I know. So healing also has to do with a frequency.
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
Frequency, brain waves,
Correct.
all that stuff, and that's a type of music.
Like, see what you just said, frequency and brain waves.
Right.
This is where they first start to confuse you because they'll use the word wave, then they'll use the word sound, then they'll use the word frequency, then they'll use the word vibration. You're confused now because you're now told that these are 4 different, very separate things.
But it's all the same.
But they're all this. Think about it: frequency,
Right.
vibration, sound.
Right.
You know, like these things are.
It's part of the same.
And then when you go tone, pitch.
Because low tones cause vibrations.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but then high tones also have a vibration.
Exactly.
But the one you can't feel, but nonetheless has an effect.
Right.
Whoa. So
Yeah.
it's like, you know, ultrasound, and then I'll say MRI scan, but it's the vibration.
Yeah.
Still. So I feel we're not being lied to. That's the
Right.
no one's lying to us.
Right.
Like, you know, it's about how bothered are you?
How distracted.
Right. But
Right.
then it's like when it's all said and done, are you gonna blame distraction? Kick it, touch it, punch it. Where is it? Like, it's not even there. So the distraction is in you. Your frequency's off.
Correct.
Your
Correct.
vibration's
Come on.
off.
Let's talk
so
about it.
So it's like, I feel, you know, I'm a believer in God, and
Yeah.
I'd say I'm very much on the Christ following side. But you know, I understand why some Islamic leaders push their congregation to just refrain from music. Completely understand. Because they went deep with it, and then it's like, because they can't decipher each song at a time, they're like, just don't listen to none, because we just don't know what's going on. So it's coming from a point of fear.
Right.
Ish, you know, in a respectful way, I mean that, because if you just, you know, give it all to God, then in one ear, out the next, wash your brain or whatever. But you still have to be conscious of what you're allowing in your brain.
Right.
And I think if you can look back with me, the growth of music and the way music has changed. So just like, forget about the vulgarness and anything, but I just want you to think about R&B.
Right.
And I want you to think about trap.
Right.
And I just want you to, like, I'll just do an experiment really
No,
fast.
I already know where you're going.
So then, you know, you got the
Yeah.
one,
Calm.
two,
You know.
and then you got the
Right.
and it's like, already we went from being, you know, quite groovy to and it's like, after a while, after 3 minutes of that, you turn the next song, and it's another 3 minutes of that, you turn the next song. You're amplifying something, but it's like you're getting so
Right.
you've put yourself on edge. So the next person that goes, might get a box because because you just
Right.
you've messed up your whole meds. You have
Right.
you've disequilibriumed yourself. Well done. And because I taught in England, I taught people that were very passionate in music, and I was
Right.
trying to get them on board. I also realized that on the flip side of consuming it, when you're in a mind, you create certain music too. So when you're going through a hard time, it's interesting. You might resonate with a trap song and a blues.
Right.
So what's doing it? Because now it's not the rhythm, but it could be the key.
Yeah.
There's sad keys.
Right.
There are sad sounds.
Of course.
F sharp
Right.
is F sharp major is not a nice happy,
Right.
but C major is nice and happy and
Bright.
and like church chords versus jazzy minor chords. It's like almost the same, but there's something happy
Right.
about one and kind of one not so. And it's when you start to be able to explain what those differences are and why they're having an effect, it's like you go, so what is life? Because if every noise is having an effect on me,
Yeah.
that's why some monks be up in the mountains,
Really
don't
be-
want to hear anything.
Yeah.
I
kind of want to go pastor on you. What can we unpack the scriptures? I mean, there's this verse that I came across a couple years ago. Where's Google? I came across, and it completely blew my mind. What happened is that there's this guy in the Bible called King Jehoshaphat.
Okay.
And he was trying to go to, he was told that I think this Amorite king and a couple of dudes were coming to fight him and his nation.
Okay.
And he wanted to know exactly what to do. So he was just like, listen, talking to his seniors, is there not a prophet in town? And hold on, let me just find the verse real quick.
I feel like I know what story you're talking about.
So Jehoshaphat was just like, bring me a minstrel. Is there somebody that could hear from the Lord from me? Because I want to know, should I go engage in battle with these guys? So in 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 11, right? So it says, but Jehoshaphat said, is there not a prophet of the Lord that we may inquire of the Lord by him? And one of the kings of Israel's servant answered and said, here is Elisha, the son of Shaphat, which poured water on their heads. So if you read going down, Elijah shows up and he's asking a question like, hey, should I go into battle? And Elisha said this. He said, bring me a minstrel. Bring me somebody that could play music. And the Bible says that as the minstrel played, he heard from the Lord. And he gave instructions to Jehoshaphat. So for me, music, the right keys, the right tones precede receiving from the divine instructions, So
Oh, we're getting deep.
yeah. Because he was just like, let me set the atmosphere. Let me get in the right spirit. Let me adjust my frequency. Let me calm down from whatever it is. Like, bring me a minstrel. He probably had a time of worship, prayer, meditating. I don't know what they would have done in that culture at that time.
Yeah.
But the fact that he said, bring me a minstrel,
Yes.
and then the Holy Spirit moved, and then he got instructions and gave instructions to Jehoshaphat. So for me, it was just like Elisha had to be on the right frequency,
Right.
in order to minister, in order to speak. So
And you see what you're saying. I completely agree. But not only that. So I aim that we can have, like, years from now, a conversation where we get this same clip
yeah,
and then show the growth of the understanding that we can make from a certain time,
Right.
both individually and collectively. Because what I mean this, like I mean it, and I always warm my heart when I see people that are acknowledging that this is not as far fetched as it's made to
Right,
sound. Because
right.
I don't watch horror films anymore.
Yeah.
The first reason is because I went to church and the pastor said I can't watch anything past a 12:8 because I just keep bumping into the stuff that he said if I sat down and watched a movie with Jesus, like I'd have to change some of these movies or else I'd be looking like, sorry, like
Yeah.
you just keep
Yeah,
changing
yeah,
movies.
yeah.
So I said I never thought of it like that. But
Right.
I can't watch horror because of the studying that I've done with frequencies, and I clock it being used to provoke those, and it's working on me more because of the sensitivity I have to sound,
Right.
not because I think the movie is scary.
Right.
So I can hear when something's nonsense by the music
Right.
that's in the background.
Right.
You know, some kids call it brain rot, but I can hear the repetitive nonsense that's actually hypnotizing them to go again and again. And, you know, I'm surprised. A lot of people don't know about the folktale, the Pied Piper.
Oh yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't even know who taught me this, but I learned that in Anguilla. I know somebody taught me about the story of the Pied Piper.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of nursery rhymes that are brought down, desensitized based on true events, you know, and horrible events.
But think about it. Pied Piper, a man that was called into a village because they had a rat problem.
Right.
And he played a song, the right tune, and the rats came out the village. The people refused to pay the man. The man got vexed, played another tune, and took all the kids out of the village, never to be seen again.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what kind of folktale,
Right.
I don't know how we benefit from learning about these things, but
Right.
when I started doing the frequency stuff, I'm like, so a story that once sounded completely far-fetched now sounds possible? I was like, okay. And then I started to play around with just one element of understanding sound frequencies with my steel pen. And I just, same note, repetition, and seeing if it was invoking a different feeling. And when I started to really calm down and try to take it seriously, because in the beginning I was just laughing at myself doing it, I could see that certain notes, when they reached lower, would make me feel more calm.
Right.
And then the higher, the less calm I would feel, but it wouldn't feel like triggered. I just wouldn't feel so calm.
Yeah.
And I've really come a long way in understanding those things. And it's important to have some kind of noise cancellation, something around you. It's important.
So at home, like, do you play calm music all the time, or is it just normally still and quiet?
You're gonna laugh, but I don't play music unless I'm consciously going into doing something in music. I no longer listen to other people's music. So I get really excited when I hear someone's music, and I tend to be more eager to listen to unknown people than super known people now. I like local artists, they'd be surprised, but I'm listening to their stuff in Anguilla to the point where I don't even know where everybody's names are. I'm just listening to so much.
Right.
Some people in St. Martin, you know, because it's like I care about you guys now. Like I could care less about those mixed and mastered, puppeteered level songs that has different mixed messages in the back. And I'm not talking like some kind of secret note being whispered. I'm talking the message in emotion, you know, having different emotional responses in it. They want you to behave a certain way, and it's real.
Yeah, of course.
And just to close on that, the Beatles had a stadium festival somewhere in England in the 80s, and they found out that the rhythm pattern that were playing was so strong mixed with the chords that a lot of people had a heart attack. And through the studies, they realized that those people didn't actually have a heart attack due to drugs or alcohol. It was because they became overwhelmed with love and excitement for the band so much that they actually had minor heart attacks.
Wow.
It's because of the music.
Wow. That's interesting. We kind of went off on a little tangent there, you know,
Happily.
but so just closing down, living with purpose, talking about living with intention. When you're creating music, how intentional are you about the messages you put in your lyrics? Because you say you rebelling.
After being a songwriter for other people.
Oh, you did some ghostwriting a bit?
Yeah, you kind of realize that, well, it's a skill, like a journalist, like the people that write the articles for the Anguillian, they're never going to run out of, writing. But it's when you forge what type of journalist you are. Are you investigative in journalist? Are you a finance, political finance?
Right.
That's when you get your real speciality, I realized that even if it won't make me popular, I want songs that are almost on the flip topic of what's popular. And I find that the niche, I don't like to call people fans, like the niche supporters that I have, their taste reflects with my style. Okay, we're all human. Sometimes we might get a little edgy, a little cheeky here and there, but the fundamental messages, it has to be like I can't be someone bragging about my clothes.
Right.
I don't want to brag at all.
Right.
Why am I bragging to you?
Yeah.
Don't I want you to listen to my music?
Right.
I don't get it. So if it's not positive, happy, trying to teach something or telling a story, because I feel like we don't do that anymore.
No, we don't.
Like tell stories,
Right.
or or another person's story. I feel like I like to do that.
It's kind of, and that takes a level of creativity that a lot of people nowadays don't really exhibit, because to tell a story on a beat with timing and have it to make sense, and rhyme words while you're conveying the story that has a message, it's interesting.
Yeah, you made me think of shout out to Miss Webster and Miss John, my English teachers, campus being campus A. Without a good English subject foundation, songwriting becomes raw talent alone.
Yeah.
And if you have the raw talent but have a good English teacher to break down poetry for you, break down comprehension, story, analysis, how to bulk it up, then your brain, it's like cooking, you level up.
Yeah.
And I really feel like I was very fortunate to have very good English teachers that pushed that level of excellence in English,
right,
which then coupled with that excellence in music. So when you go into the real industry, you can write, you can communicate for yourself. Yeah, it's a big part. That's why I said no matter what you do, you have to strive for overall academic greatness. Even if it's in a trade or a skill with your hands, never be ashamed, but you have to go for the best. Because all those little skills, they pay off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. How do you handle the responsibility of being a role model while still being true to yourself?
Be honest. Some adults will laugh with you when you're honest and be like, "Why my alarm didn't go off today? I was almost late for work." Some people they're like, "Yeah, but you're lucky." And some people are like, "I'm always organized." I feel like, being honest, people respect the honesty.
Right.
And I find that I've had such a freedom, like a weight lifted off my shoulders.
By just being honest.
Yeah. And also not begging, but saying sorry when necessary. And forgiving when necessary.
Right.
And when I mean necessary is like when you do it before you're ready, it's not real. So then
Right.
just don't do it. You know, like
Right. Yeah,
just
yeah.
don't.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, being honest.
You ever been in any compromising positions since, you started this artist journey where it's like, okay, an opportunity was presented to you or it could have been presented to you, or you've been in an environment around people where it's just like, okay, Aoife, LunDun, we could do this, but in order to do this, you got to sign this, you got to,
Oh gosh,
you know,
I've lost a lot of stuff like that.
so
Yeah.
they talk about that, those situations where like you were almost, well, I wouldn't say forced, because you're the type of person I think nobody can force you to do anything, but it's like,
I know what you mean though.
Yeah, yeah.
Like especially when you're younger, coercion is like forces first cousin. Like like if you can't force somebody, then sometimes mental psychological manipulation.
yeah,
You'll get there by coercion, and this is real. Coercion is also very real. You can be befriended,
right,
and then they're not work out so friendly. Okay, for example, in law, in contract law and music law, but in most entertainment law, the owner of the equipment is the owner of the master copies, regardless. So, for example, you own the master copy of this recording right now.
yeah,
If I didn't pay for my studio time, and I was an artist, and I said, oh, I want to do some studio stuff, but, I can pay tomorrow. Okay, no problem. Let's say they never pay you and they make it big on that one song that they recorded by you. You own that's your song because of the law behind it. I find that one time I was honest and I said that because it was no payment was discussed, but I had done something that was mine, so I'm gonna pay you for it, obviously. And then they said no, that's okay. And I got
they refused the payment.
No, it's like no, we cool.
Yeah,
but this is the benefit of me doing music industry management as opposed to learning how to produce. And I was like, bro, we're not cool. I need to pay you because, it's my stuff. And if I don't pay you, you own a master's. It's like, this is not a friendly thing. Like, this is my stuff. Like,
right.
I don't know you like that.
Right.
And the energy just shifted because the framework is then, and you're in the industry, you can get caught like that. Someone will make it look like they're helping you or doing you a good deed, working on a whole EP on an album, but you're not paying, and then you release it, and you might pay for little bits like, the releasing details or whatever, but the actual track, you never really thought and pay for it. The success, it could be overnight, and it's on the radio.
Right.
That's someone's meal ticket for like 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So that's why it's like a lotto. You give people things for free, and you hope that one will catch.
Yeah.
And then it's like, that's mine.
Right.
You never paid me.
Okay,
And
so
I realized that so long story short, being aware of that, being upfront about that, actually made people not want to work with me in the beginning when I was an emerging artist, because I wanted to own my masters. And that was a problem.
Yeah, and you see that on social media where it's like Beyonce got her masters, all of her masters and stuff like that. And I mean, at face value, it's understandable, at face value. But then it's like you don't really know how important that is to get like your masters.
It's like it's more than the business license of doing it major.
Wow.
It's when you make it, can someone get you off the face of it? And doing it major still do well and do it major.
Right.
But no more you, just because of a technicality. But they let that technicality grow until you were something to then address that technicality.
Right.
And I find that dishonest.
Yeah.
If I
Yeah.
owe you something, you tell me that I owe it.
Yeah.
You don't wait until I'm making millions off it and then say, actually, that's all mine.
Right.
You never paid. You know? And
Yeah.
people will be surprised how reluctant people are to work with artists that are smart. That was my biggest issue. And arguably, I think still is and forever will be.
Mm-hmm.
You just know too much of the industry paperwork side of it. People don't want to work with you because you're going to ask, like, so what platform are you releasing it on?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are you on ASCAP? Because I'm from the UK, I do PRS. I don't necessarily need to do BMI. From time they see you talking about this, just go. Because it's too professional. And I find that quite hypocritical from industry professionals.
Yeah, and for me here in Angola, I mean, I try to keep a standard when it comes to like music and releasing music, because I was ignorant in the past. You know, I did a whole album, and this would have been my third studio album. Did a whole album, and I made beats, and I used samples in my beats, and my entire album, even though it was released through CD Baby and stuff like that, it couldn't be monetized because I had
those little
I
samples.
had those
Right.
samples in it, and for me it was just like they know somewhere there's metadata, like they know they could find stuff, and you gotta own your beats. So every emerging artist that I come in contact with, you know, even with the guys in my group, well, at the time, I was just like, do not buy anything or get anything on leases. Make sure that you get exclusive rights to your beats. Buy exclusive beats. Pay the money, you know, because guys be like, "Oh, I can't afford it, you know, and they buy these $20 beats,
Yeah.
you know, they get beats off of YouTube and all that stuff. I'm saying, okay,
Yeah.
if you find a producer on YouTube, make sure that you get exclusive beats. Like,
And you know what's scary? Even when you get the exclusive beats, they haven't been ethical of how they even made the beat.
right.
And so then the beat doesn't get cleared anyway.
Exactly.
That's the worst, because now you've paid for exclusive
exactly.
rights before you've even
Right.
seen if it can pass. And you know, I say this to musicians.
Mm-hmm.
Musicians learn how to produce.
Talk to that camera.
Artists learn how to produce.
Yeah.
Musicians and artists work together, co-own and co-produce.
Yeah.
You make more money when you keep it together. I cannot believe there are people in Anguilla going
Doing
on
music.
YouTube,
Yeah.
buying something from somebody in the States.
Yep.
I can't believe it. We have people here that can make any beat that you want. Just sit down, talk, say, bro, I have no money, but any money it makes is 50-50. Handshake on it, write it on some toilet
Right.
paper, take a picture of it, and that's it. It's ready to go.
But Aoife, you got artists here in Anguilla that don't even have an IPA number.
I mean, this is the beautiful thing about music.
Yeah.
Don't let the business mix up the art. We can just release on YouTube, get a vibe, get our stuff together,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or we can, listen, one thing I've realized, your first EP should not even be about making money or even being legit.
Should be just getting on there, right?
Just try, get some, just get some music out about you trying to be legit. My first couple of tracks were like, what? I don't know, like, it's not fun like that. You have to be organic, you know.
Right.
You have to like do a couple freestyles. You know, you have to be singing somewhere on stage and someone record it, and you know, like you put that out because you're proud of yourself. You know, build up get used to seeing yourself, hearing yourself. These are important things.
Yeah.
Not just looking professional. Because one thing I've realized, and I smile, and I do it, maybe with not like all like cheery smile, but a little bit of like.
Mm-hmm.
When people are fully polished production artists and then they can't perform.
Ooh.
But like
Yeah, that's a big one.
But like as an emerging artist,
Yeah.
you look like you are digitally emerging and doing the most.
Mm-hmm.
But people have to realize that's all to build up to get the live. And the live is where you get paid.
Yeah.
And the live is where you shine.
Yeah.
If your digital self is selling too much of a dream and you haven't worked on your craft that much yet and you can't perform, that actually it's like you shoot yourself in your foot.
Yeah.
Then the performance will give you a different reputation from your tracks.
That is good.
And you have to do you have to do the real stuff.
Right.
So then you got the music videos, everything, but at least when you go to in person, you don't disappoint. Yeah, it's important, man.
And that's a real thing. Again, here in Anguilla, you don't really have those opportunities. Because when I was in college, I was blessed to attend just like almost like a Christian club cafe something, where they would have like different Christian artists and different artists come every Friday.
Yeah.
So I got invited a few times, and that's where I learned how to perform by just watching these artists.
Right.
But you got persons that doing music, here in Anguilla and stuff like that. They don't have these opportunities because there's no place in Anguilla that provides that type of stuff.
Well, where did I learn to perform? On a system, rapping, or under a street light, rapping, on BBM, rapping, having little rap battles with people.
Right.
I actually learned how to perform by having fun with my friends and the community of people that did like to rap.
Yeah.
Even though nowhere is giving us any platform, low-key still happening. It's happening in schools.
Yeah.
It's happening where we like unofficially hang out.
Yeah.
It's happening online. Like, yo, you hear this? You hear this? I learned how to articulate myself through rapping to the point where going into a pageant was actually like people wouldn't believe that rapping and having the confidence to rap as a female is way harder than speaking.
Right.
We all speak. I find rapping is still sometimes depending on what crowd you're in. Like when I was in the Irish Embassy for Black History Month, and my set, I purposely did it all rap. I'm not gonna lie, I performed it well, but I was so nervous because I just being honest, there's Irish people in the crowd, and it's like, I don't think rap is big in Ireland. So this isn't even like, this is extra different.
Yeah.
But
that's dope.
You have to learn how to perform and give it your all for real. It's not this like, you can't be like this digital avatar artist. It's too much of those, man.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It's true. Yeah, this is a good one. So if you could go back and speak to your younger self before your first performance, what would you say?
Oh my gosh. Practice. I mean, my first performance, I just have to, my grandmother, she was like a comedian and used to do skits for Church of God of Prophecy.
Yeah.
And my grandmother said, "Yeah, you're going up, and you're gonna sing, and you're gonna do this." And I don't know, it just didn't dawn on me to practice.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but all the adults kind of missed that gap.
Yeah.
Practice. So I had stage fright on the stage, and that feeling wasn't good. And then in Girl Guides again, we had like a dancing thing. I messed up the dance. Practice. Yeah.
Practice is important. I remember my first one of my first like concerts here. It was it gospel fest or something like that. 2015. Yeah. I was in Tortola I was living in Tortola at the time. And bro, they called me to Anguilla for this concert.
Oh,
you
wow.
know?
Okay.
So that was kind of like a big thing. It was, and I didn't like, I practiced, yes, but what happened is that I had put too much energy in my first song.
Okay.
So I was, but you know where I'm going, right?
Yeah.
I ain't had no breath going to my I think I did 2 songs. I ain't had no breath
Left for the third one.
left for the third one, and I'm rapping, and I'm just like just choking on air because I'm just like I'm tired. I'm tired. I had no breath.
Yeah.
So that was something I never knew about. Like save your
breathing-
energy.
breathing is important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but for me, I'm grateful for the experience because that was in April, and then when I went back to Tortola, I did another gospel fest there. I think that was just God, you know what I'm saying? So I made that
A
mistake
redo.
in Anguilla, and I got a redo a
Yeah.
couple months later. I took it easy on my first 2 songs, and then the last song, I gave it 100.
You gave it all.
I just gave it all, you know. So I practiced more than my performance in Anguilla.
Okay. Oh,
yeah,
really?
I
Okay.
practiced. I was like practice 2 weeks in advance every single day for like an hour.
Right.
You know, just practicing, memorizing my lyrics, making sure I just got
Yeah.
everything down pat. Because performing, it's a big deal. You know,
And there's a warm up to performing.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
It's not just like you go and are you warm?
Yeah,
You know, there's a
it's
lot. There's a lot.
Just like
there's
when
a
you
lot.
go into to record, like when you go
Yeah.
into record, you know, it's a couple takes before the
Right.
producer could really feel you. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
you still warming up. Even when you think that you are hot, the producer's just like, nah, you ain't hot.
Nah.
You still warming up. You know, so.
Maybe think of oh my.
Yeah. Omar is in my head. Yeah, shout out to Omar, by the way.
Yeah.
My last question before we bring the podcast to a close. I want you to finish this sentence. You know, in the world today, I wish more women would. What?
Oh my gosh. You're on, what are you doing today, man? These are hard questions. Okay, say that again for me.
In the world today, you wish, Aoife, more women would. ... Fill in the blank. And you could speak from, you know, your niche, like hip hop,
That is so hard.
you know, singing, like your niche. Or if it's easier to just fill in the blank, generally speaking.
So in the world today, I wish more women would. Wow. I mean, okay, let's just do in the musical
Yeah, your niche, yeah.
and other niche that I have in the music industry and in the creative industries. I wish more women would support each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. There you go. Made me find an applause. That's good. Because, I mean, if you got to do a major, you need support.
Yeah. And you know, like shout out to the guys, because if it's one thing that men do really good is that brotherhood. And you see sisterhood. Let's just say we do sisterhood, but that doesn't equate to support all the time. So I feel like brotherhood almost automatically has support. Sisterhood could have harsh critique, which is helpful, you know, a reality check at all times. You know, you have a woman in your corner, you might get one of them, you know, like, but I find the when you're in the same field doing the same thing, why inherently we don't feel there's enough space for us all, and the culture could be even stronger within the women's side of music if we look like we were kumbaya with each other. But I think people know that it's not the case. And you see it like, okay, Rihanna was signed by Jay-Z. Jay-Z, Beyonce's husband, sorry. Jay-Z, Beyonce.
I didn't even catch that.
Rihanna and Beyonce never done a track.
Right.
Rihanna has been signed since she was 16 years old. Rihanna's like 30-something. Beyonce and Rihanna never doing a track shows you what the industry and what women are really about when they are actually both as fierce as each other. What happened? It's like Beyonce will do a track with Nicki Minaj eventually because they're not in the same league. There's no ego. you know. But look what
because Beyonce is singing
rapping,
and
right? But
Nicki Minaj
but then
is
look what
rapping.
Little Kim and Nicki demolished Little Kim as a marketing strategy to prove that she's the best. So your marketing strategy to make yourself big was to assassinate another rapper's character.
Yeah.
And then it kind of worked because, you know, we're primitive people and that's the stuff that we seem to like.
Yeah.
But I find that the pattern is there all the way. And you have exceptions. Like, you know, I said Queen Latifah because I think she's a queen because she brings those women of that era continually together, you know. But America has their own thing. And I feel like the Caribbean region, we should take a leaf out of that book where if we want our individual success, we need to just be, you know, honest and strategic. We have to work together. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Coming on to a close here, I just feel like I got to, we probably even over time, but what would you say to anybody listening? Just give us one IFA nugget. Just one doing a major nugget from IFA to the listening audience. Something that inspired you, a phrase that keeps you going, something that you hold on to whenever you're at your lowest point, a phrase that motivates you, something that somebody told you, a one-liner, a nugget.
Okay, I'm going to give you like a couple really fast nuggets.
Okay,
because you said it last time we spoke. You introduced me, I think, driven, ambitious. And I looked at you, I was like, you've been going through my Facebook.
No.
Because if you had said driven, ambitious, unstoppable, that was like, that's my mantra.
Right.
So I was like, whoa, you literally got 2 out of 3. So driven, ambitious, unstoppable. Be driven, be ambitious. Those things make you unstoppable. Like, that's that. But then another thing is today is the first day of the rest of your life. And so a teacher told my mother that. My mother told me that. I've been a teacher. I tell my students that. And I try to tell people, like, guilt and shame do not help you become who you are.
That's powerful.
So it's like no matter what has happened to you or no matter what you go through, today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Every single day.
Every single day. And it's like that has to keep you just like on a roll, you know?
Yeah, there's so much freedom in that.
Yeah, and put God first. And the same way a baby is not scared to ask a parent for food, treat God like that. Like, because he's your father. So when you're primitive and you're young and you crying, you are cutting no style. You want what you want. Yeah. We still have to be like that. And I find that has really helped me in my life where I no longer feel like God is like, I have to make a spiritual pedestal of myself and I have to get ready to pray. That, like, it's like, that's I don't know who taught us that shallow side of it, but it's like the same way a baby wants food is like, that's how I want that, you know, the freedom to feel like you can talk in that way. Yeah, man. So, you know, today's the first day of the rest of your life.
Put God first.
Put God first. Yeah.
Yeah. You heard it, ladies and gentlemen, from IFA, the one and only LunDun, on the Doing a Major podcast. Another episode for you. And listen, we are wrapping things up. And always remember, in whatever you do, do it major.
So I had to take you from you because you don't want it. I'm gassed up on ambition, feeling so atomic. You about to hear me 5 ways like it's pentatonics. I see your drivers.